Hi everybody, this is Janice, and I'm going to do a kind of a tips and technique type of video, and my video is about the White Daisy exclusive ink from Close to My Heart. I have had other white inks, and I think this is my favorite. I like how crisp white it is, and I like the fact that it is pigment ink, because that means that you can emboss with it, and that's probably what makes it such a vibrant white ink. Then there's also the VersaMark ink, which is something else that I use a lot. I've had this for a very long time. You'll see when I open it, it's dirty. Not as dirty as it could be, but they do get dirty, but you can re-ink both of these. Okay, so these are both offered in the catalog, the Close to My Heart catalog. They also have one that's called Colonial White, which is more of a creamy color. And yeah, that'll be my next, definitely gonna be a purchase in my future. So let me just show you some things and what does that mean? Okay, first of all, like I said, this is pigment ink, which means it can smudge. So you have to heat dry it or set it aside to dry. Otherwise, it's gonna get all over your hands and it's gonna smear your project. The VersaMark ink can be embossed because it's a sticky ink and the embossing powder sticks to it, or you can use it to create what's called a watermark. If you see there, it says Watermark Stamp Pad. It gives you the, it'll look like a tone-on-tone paper, if you know what that means. Let me show you something. Let's see. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. This, what I'm using here, is the Real Life, Everyday Life stamp set from Close to My Heart. This is so cute. I grew up in the 70s, so I had a Viewmaster, that's what it was called, the Viewmaster, when I was a kid. And when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I need that. I wish they had the stamp of the actual Viewmaster. That would be really cool if anybody out there is listening for tips and ideas. I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that. The stamp set comes with this little spongy material, and you use that to get a good impression on your paper. I'm going to do a tone-on-tone. So we're going to use some scraps that I have from my last layout. We're going to do a few things, different techniques on this. So I'm going to grab this here, this little honeycomb looking piece, and I'm going to get my block, and this one is kind of small. What if we did it diagonal? Let's get the next size up. I've had these blocks for a very long time, and I recommend these thicker blocks because you have a good place to hold them. With the other blocks, those skinny ones that are like $1.50 or whatever at Michael's and Joann's, those ones are good. I mean, they work, but you can't get a good handle on them. And when you can't get a good handle on it, you can't press properly. And that makes all the difference when you're stamping. If you're a new stamper, I say just get a couple of these in the right sizes. So I'm going to ink this up, and you're not going to see anything on the stamp because it's clear. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I'm going to hold it up close so you can see better in a moment. I'm just going to do a couple stamps here. And like I said, those can be re-inked. So over time, you know, they dry out and stuff. So you definitely need to re-ink them. But let me show you. So see, it went from this flat boring to a tone-on-tone pattern paper. Okay, now if I wanted to, I could go further. If I really wanted this to kind of stand out even more, I mean, I could leave it like that. I could dry it and it would look nice. But if I want to go further, I could get my clear embossing powder. This is what I use the most, so I do keep it in a container. What you saw me using before in a previous video is what I keep in my bag, but this is what I keep it in at home. I I work at Michael's, so I have to go to crops once a month, so I have to kind of have my stash ready in my bag so that I don't have to pack every month, because that makes me crazy. So, okay, so now I'm going to heat it. Okay, heat tool. You can get this from the catalog as well. So there you see now it's even darker and it's got that shiny look. Goodness gracious. There we go. Okay. So that is really neat. I really love that. And I'm loving that background stamp. Okay, then if you wanted to add color, you could do that as well. So let's do this again. And this time I'm just going to do one strip off center. And again, that looks nice as just as a tone on tone look. It looks cool. I knew why this doesn't focus very well. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to add some silver. Close to My Heart does carry a silver, a clear, and a gold embossing powder. And I got these little containers at Hobby Lobby, and then I got these little spoons from Sparkle and Sprinkle. I go to the expo in Orlando every year, and they had these, so cute. Okay. So now let's look at it in silver. Okay, and so there it is in silver. Then let us go to, so okay, so that's the VersaMark. VersaMark. Okay, three things. It can be a tone on tone look, or it could be a silver effect. This would be cute, sticking out, you know, peeking out of an element on a scrapbook page. That would be cute. Or then there's the White Daisy exclusive ink pigment, and I'll show you some things about that one. So let's get our, and let us, let's see. Okay, let's do the other side of this. So I showed you that you can just do a nice crisp and I wish I had my little embossing buddy. There's something called an embossing buddy. I'm not sure what Close to My Heart calls it, but it's a little pillow and it kind of takes off all the oils that you've applied with your fingertips, and that's nice. That kind of keeps it so that this thing doesn't happen right there. That's because embossing powder got stuck to it there and I didn't take it off. So there's that too. I just don't have it here with me. It's inside somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp using this White Daisy, and I don't want this white ink all over. So I'm going to still use the foam, but I'm going to put this little craft sheet. And this time I'm going to stamp downwards. Okay, and look how cool that is. Okay, but like I said, this will smudge. So if you just want to leave it like that, then you would just take your heat gun and dry it to make sure that you don't smudge it. But if you want to emboss it, then at this point you would get your clear, or any color for that matter. If you didn't want this to be white, you just wanted the pigment. When you have pigment ink, it doesn't matter what color it is. If you have a colored embossing powder, it will stick to it and it will cover that color that's on the bottom, which is really cool. I'm going to show you that in a minute. It's a bad example there. Okay, so now I think it's this matte that's making it hard to focus. Let's put something black behind it. It's probably what's making all the difference, because there's too many lines. Maybe, maybe not. I stink as a videographer. Okay, so anyway, can you tell that it's shiny? Probably can't really tell. There we go, that's better. So there it is, it's shiny and it dries pretty quickly. Now, if I wanted to make it a different color, say I wanted it to be silver, right? I could take it and I could stamp it in the white, even though we know I don't want it to be white. But let's say that's all I had. Say I don't have any embossing powder, or I ran out of the clear, and all you have is a white or a red or a blue pigment ink pad, whatever you might have. I am going to now get the silver embossing powder that I transferred to this little container just to make it easier. It saves me the step of having to... I didn't use the embossing buddy again, but let's just say that I did. All of this powder that's on the edges would not stick. It would only stick to where the sticky ink is. But I didn't do that because I was lazy. I didn't want to go get it. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So see, so now it's no longer white. Now it's silver. Okay, so you can use your pigment ink with colored embossing powders. Close to my heart has gold and silver, or any other ones that you might have at home that you've collected over the years. You can use that with any color pigment ink, but we're using the white today just to show. There it is on the back side with the VersaMark ink. I think this one, it looks brighter because of that being white in the background. So isn't that cool? So there's two things, two tips, techniques, or several actually, for the VersaMark water stamp pad and the White Daisy. pigment and the heat tool. Okay, all available in the catalog. Don't forget my online gathering. If you're interested, please go to the link below, and there you can see how you will be entered into a drawing for a stamp set from Close to My Heart. Thanks for watching. Bye.